Idea Exchange is honored to be part of the celebration of Charter Day. We definitely support the freedom of charter and rights, and of course a library is a fantastic location to have something like this. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Charlena Russell of Russell Music.
I would like to thank the Idea Exchange for having me today, and I would like to thank the City of Cambridge for allowing me to do this and giving us the funding to do this wonderful show. Thank you so much. Councillor Donna Reid, it has been a pleasure to work with you and put this together, and I've learned so much about Charter Day and about Canadian history from doing this show and researching, and thank you for influencing that.
Her work, and that of many women activists, myself included, resulted in the equality rights coming into the Charter on this very day, April 17, in 1985, 3 years after the Charter was instituted. History of the march towards equality for women is important to remember. It is important to teach our youth the struggle that still continues. Canadian women are still working toward our goal of equality. However, today we are celebrating.
It's an honor to meet you, and we really appreciate your support and coming for today. It's so important to us.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you know, it's a pleasure to be here, and I have to say this. You know, as you grow old, you have to keep growing, and I have people around me that help me with that all the time. When it comes to human rights and women's rights, you know, I have Donna on council, I have Pam Wolf, our other councillor here, who in fact teach me a lot about how we have to have equality and who are in fact advocates for women in the community and on council all the time and every day. And that's the kind of life that I think is so important. When I think of equality in terms of celebrating this day, I think of my adopted granddaughter here, Natalie, over in the corner here, who's and what her future is going to be, and how it's going to be a better future for her. And I think that also is why we do this yearly and why we reinforce it. On behalf of myself and the other councillors, Councillor Frank Montero and I, also, just to say how much we appreciate being invited here, and we certainly thank you for the opportunity to be part of this celebration, which is really important, not only for you, but for all of Cambridge. Thank you very much.
So the musicians you'll see today, we did a show last year for International Women's Day, and it's really amazing and actually remarkable to perform with only women. It almost never happens in music. It almost never happens in most industries because many industries are still dominated by men because all these institutions were built in a time of patriarchy, and we still live in a time of patriarchy. So it's nice to collaborate with other women and get on stage together and share some stories about fighting for our rights. We're gonna each read about some women, past and present, who inspired us and who fought for women's rights. I wanna tell you about Chanda Prescott Weinstein. So I'm going to be Chanda. It's gonna be great. I am the 63rd Black woman in America to have a PhD in astrophysics. What? Can I get a little love for that? I'm a theoretical physicist. As an early universe cosmologist, I think about how the universe and everything in it came to take the form it has. Science is a collective human endeavor. My goal is to chip away what we think we know and what we don't know in order to expand what we actually know. I am a proudly out, founding and continuing member of the American Astronomical Society Committee for Sexual Orientation and Gender Minorities in Astronomy. When I think about how my experiences led me to where I am today, the first thing that comes to mind is that I was raised by a single mom. That had a really big impact on how I see myself in relation to the community. I do a lot of activism in terms of creating equal opportunities in the science community and more broadly. My mom was single-handedly the strongest influence in terms of understanding the sacrifices people make for those that they love and the communities they cherish. were quiet. You let the status quo be status quo 'cause you were afraid. Do you think nobody else is angry underneath? Do you think nobody else believes what you believe? Whisper words and undermine the power that holds you bound. Spread the fire and you will find the hour to tear it down. Step up when somebody's being oppressed. Step up when somebody's needing your best. Step up when somebody needs helping hands. You know you can step up. Hey, step up. So I'm gonna do that chorus again, and on the step up, if I could get like a fist pump, and you all say step up. Can we do that? You feeling it? All right, let's do it. Here we go. Just like this. Step up when somebody's being oppressed. Step up when somebody's needing your best. Step up when somebody needs helping hands. You know you can step up. One more time. Hey, step up. Nice. Goes out to that person in your group of friends or family or workplace who never stops talking. You know that person, they're telling a story and it's super long-winded and there's no point. Or they're at the dinner table and they're telling some story and it's totally racist, but because your family is so Canadian, no one wants to say anything. You know that situation? And if you don't know who that person is, maybe it's you. You know, some self-reflection is always good for your health.
I have a wonderful bio to read for you in first person. I'm Dr. Emily Stowe. I was born in 1831 to a Quaker family in Norwich Township, about 45 minutes south of here. Since I was a child, I dreamt of being a doctor. So when my children were old enough, I applied to Toronto School of Medicine. To this, the VP said, "The doors of the university are not open to women, and I trust they never will be." To this I say, a woman ought to understand the laws governing her own being. I'll repeat myself. A woman ought to understand the laws governing her own being. For every door that closed, I opened all the windows. I got my degree and opened up my practice. Eventually, Toronto Medical School granted me permission to study there, but only with the doctors that had foreign licenses. This came with its own recourse from my male classmates. I helped found the women's suffrage movement in Canada and campaigned for Canada's first medical college for women. In 1896, my daughter, Augusta, was by my side, and our movement had a mock parliament meeting where participants debated giving men the right to vote. This was quite the rage, and word spread quickly. I was proud to be a role model for my children. Following in my footsteps, Augusta became the first woman to receive a medical degree in Canada. My fight was not in vain. I died in 1903, leaving my children an easier path than the one I had. 16 years after my death, Caucasian women were given the right to vote in Canada. And still I say to future generations, a woman ought to know the laws governing her own being. Although Black Canadian men could vote in 1900, they had to meet an income quota and have proof of property ownership. In 1948, race was no longer allowed to be a reason to deny the right to vote. And by 1969, this declaration was fully implemented. First Nations, Inuit, Japanese Canadians, and peoples of Asian descent were finally voting all over Canada. Change can still happen. Let's continue to make this world a better place. Thank you. I know I'm in the middle of my set, but I just want to take a second to thank the Idea Exchange and Councillor Donna Reid once again for having our show today and for making this happen. I couldn't have This wouldn't have happened without a team effort, and it's been so beautiful to work with you powerful ladies, so thank you. I would also like to thank Becky Reesor, Janice Jolie, and Alysha Brilla for performing today. Once again, it's been such an honor to have all of you on stage singing together, rehearsing together, and putting our message out into the world and sharing such beautiful music with all of you. Thank you for coming. You're a beautiful audience. And last but not least, I would like to thank Mr. Gareth Carr, who is running all of the cameras. He actually was the first person to record me when I was 18, and taught me a lot of what I know when it comes to techie equipment, and it's just so great to work with you and be around you again. You're one of my best friends, and thank you so much for all of your help.
The term Indian is used to refer to the Aboriginal peoples in what is now called Canada. Many organizations and people use terms such as Aboriginal or Native, but an Indian is becoming less and less common, but it is still used even in some Aboriginal tribes today and in our government organizations. I am of the Anishinaabe people. I was born on Wik-Memikong Reserve on Manitoulin Island on June 21st, 1942. From my father, I learned to speak Ojibwe, and from my mother, I learned to speak English. Ojibwe, the tongue of my people, and English, the tongue of the people surrounding me. As a youth, I was very involved in Native rights, holding positions in the Native Canadian Centre of Toronto and the Company of Young Canadians. And through these years, I traveled all over Canada to further the cause of Native rights, to the point where in 1965, I was named the Indian Princess of Canada. Today, my identity changes. Today, I marry David Lavelle. Today, I lose my legal status as an Indian. According to the Indian Act from the Department of Indian Affairs and Northern Development, a woman who has married a person who is not an Indian is not entitled to be registered as an Indian. That means that any Native woman, note that this does not apply to Native men, but any Native woman who marries a non-Native man immediately loses her Native status. Can you believe it? Does any woman cease to be her race or her tribe upon marrying a man of a different color? Not only this, but do her children cease to be of her race and only that of her husband's? What does it mean for us to lose our legal Native status? It means that we cannot access treaty benefits, we have no right to live on our reserve, we cannot inherit family property, nor can we be buried on our reserve with our ancestors. We cannot participate with ceremonies and rituals on our lands. My name is Jeanette Vivienne Corbière-Lavelle, and today I am robbed and stripped. In 1985, there will be another person who will challenge this law, and it will result in allowing all the women and children who had lost their status to be reinstated and again gain their legal status as a First Nations person in Canada. Thank you. So as I was preparing that biography, I was thinking, what would I want to tell Jeanette? Would I have anything to say to her, or would I have a song to share with her? How could I show her my support and my empathy with her as a woman and as a First Nations person? And I came across the song Help Is Coming by Ayo. Ayo is a Nigerian-born singer-songwriter who says things like not many other people can say them. And Help Is Coming is a song that gives voice to speak to the person or the people or the institution that is supposed to be supporting you and helping you but is not. Okay, take two. Try that again. Pum, 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 pum. Yeah. Situation could be much better than today. Know that you could do much better than you do today. And how come you never try to change the situation? And how come you always escape out of a serious conversation? Don't you know it can never be too late for us to succeed? Out of every misery, you can be relieved as long as you believe. Help is coming, as long as you believe. Help is coming for us to be relieved, for us to be relieved. Your lifestyle could be so different from how it is right now. Know that you could change so many things if only you want them. You should know it can never be too late. Just get up and try. And if you fall and wonder why, just try help is coming. As long as you believe, help is coming. For I'll still be relieved. For I'll still be relieved. You always looking for a scapegoat, saying everything is their fault, but never ever you gonna say maybe I did mistakes. You acting up like a wise guy and never gonna say why, like you know everything and what they just can't be right. How come you never change? How come you always fail at everything you did before, back then until today? Oh, help is coming. That's you. Oh, help is coming. This come. Help is coming. Help is coming. Help is coming. For our relief. If you believe, help is coming. Oh, help is coming. Oh, help is coming. Help is coming. Help is coming. One more time and pump, 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 pump. Whoa. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How have you been enjoying the afternoon so far? Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming out and spending your sunny Sunday with us. It's nice that there's huge windows in here, so we're still not completely separate from it, which is great. And I'm Alysha Brilla, and I'm excited to be here. I actually don't play in Cambridge very much. In Kitchener, yeah, but this is great. It's so cool. I know Galt is like, when I first moved to KW from Brampton, it's been like 10 years now. I remember driving through Galt and being like, whoa, I was just transported into some fairy tale little space. And it's amazing now that, you know, there's like juice companies and stuff popping up. I feel like this is going to be the spot to be in KW. I really do. I really, really do. It already is. This is the spot. All right. So I'm gonna play some original songs for you today, and this first one here is a song that I wrote as a response to bullying, which is something that I experienced a lot in middle school, and something that is definitely not limited to school. Lots of people get bullied every day for different reasons, and so ultimately, I think the goal of today is to help spread awareness about the oppression that women experience, and there's many different groups of people who experience that. So this song's about rising above that, and this one's called Bigger Than That. Well, there was a time when you had my love, and you had my heart, and you had my trust, and you had my hope, and you had it all. I made myself feel small for you, 'cause you were the man with the bigger plan. Had it in your hand and you had me then. Back when the rivers ran wild and free, I let you go and make a mockery of me. But now I see things I didn't see, and I'll never be that again. Hey, when you think I am small, try to keep me in the back, but I am bigger than that. And you put up a wall, but I'll climb it like a cat, 'cause I am bigger than that. Send a yeah. So my name is Deepa Mehta. I'm an Indo-Canadian filmmaker and activist. My moving and provocative films explore issues of human rights and social justice. My father was a successful film distributor, and I ended up with a degree in philosophy, but I began producing documentaries and short films for the government of India. Eventually, I moved on to profile the gender inequality existing in India. And my films take a look at Indian traditions, deep-rooted Indian traditions, as well as queer, lesbian sexuality, and romance. My films have opened up dialogue and the eyes of many Indians and non-Indians alike. So, for instance, one of Deepa Mehta's films is called Water. Has anyone seen that film, Water? And yeah? And Water explores the traditions in India that revolve around women and marriage, and women whose husbands may have passed. So what happens to these women who are now widows? And it's not cool, like a lot of things that happen to women. But the way that Deepa Mehta explores it in the film is very, very beautiful, and she really helps highlight and bring to light that inequality. I think even for Indian folks who watch the film and may have previously agreed with some of those philosophies. So I would just recommend you watching some of Deepa Mehta's films. She's proudly now identifies as Indian Canadian, and she's a wonderful filmmaker. So that's who I'm highlighting today, and I hope that maybe when you go home you can, I don't know if they're on Netflix. They might be on Netflix, or you can find them at the library, right here. The Idea Exchange. Well, there was a time I was in love a long time ago, but I told myself I was over with love, I was done. Then you came along and my heart started beating. I'm so scared of the cycle repeating. You could be really good for me, but I know this territory. So I said, no, won't someone save me now? 'Cause I think I'm falling in love, I think I'm going down. So won't somebody save me? Won't someone save me now? Yeah, I think I'm falling in love, I think I'm going down. So won't somebody save me? Hey, I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. Oh yeah, I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. Know that I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. Oh yes, I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. There was a time when I gave my heart a long time ago, but I locked it up and then I threw away the key. Oh, the key. You come along and I start to surrender. You throw love just like flames on an ember. I told myself I'd be smarter, but with you it's getting harder. Oh, so now, oh, someone save me now. Yeah, I think I'm falling in love, I think I'm going down. So won't somebody save me? Won't someone save me now? Yeah, I think I'm falling in love and I think I'm going down. So won't somebody save me? Hey, I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. Oh, yes, I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. You know that I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. Oh yes, I'm falling in love, so somebody save me. Do you remember when it was long ago that you gave yourself to another soul, but it fell apart? And when it broke your heart, yeah, you swore that you'd never fall in love again. Oh, 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 hey, 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 hey. Oh, and someone save me now, 'cause I think I'm falling in love, I think I'm going down. Somebody save me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charlena. Thank you, Idea Exchange. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm kind of a huggy person, and I just want to hug everyone that was involved in putting this show together. So,
Line
ladies.
up over here.
Let's give it up for Janice Lee.
Alysha, Brilla.
And Becky Reesor.
Charlena Russell.
And can we have Councillor Donna Reed to the stage so I can give you a hug?
Official end of ceremony hug. Right there.
And Sandra Sador. Come on up here, ID Exchange. And we couldn't have done the video footage without Mr. Gareth Carr, so let's bring him on up here. And all of you, thank you for coming. Also, my student volunteers, come on up. And Kathy, and Tiffany, and Andrea, come on up. Any volunteers that came today? You guys made this happen too.